The transfer window is shut, the Premier League is back, and players will be putting on their new team shirt for the very first time. But who was the best midfield signing this summer? Which transfer saga was finally put to bed, and which youngsters should you be looking out for? Well, all this information I shall be sharing with you in the next few minutes as I take you through my transfer window 11. In between the sticks is where we start, and not without options. But Leno looks like a great signing for Arsenal, and Rui Patricio also looks like a great bit of business for Wolves. But my number one spot is taken by one of the biggest deals of the summer. He's not the record-breaking goalkeeper anymore, as that belongs to Kepa, who will be a fantastic addition to Chelsea. But Alisson takes the number one spot in this team as a more proven goalkeeper in Seri, the Champions League, and on the international stage. And right back sees the experienced Stefan Lichtsteiner take the spot. In terms of potential rivals to this place, Dalot and Pereira both left Porto for Manchester United and Leicester respectively, and although they're decent players, they don't come close to the trophy cabinet and experience that Lichtsteiner has. Our first centre-back is a player who had a pretty good season in a team that ultimately got relegated, which is no mean feat. After impressing enough to win his first England cap last season, Alfie Mawson has made the switch to Fulham, where he could join up with one of the surprise teams of the season. Partnering Mawson in the centre-back position is Socrates Papastathopoulos. A name difficult to say, but it's not difficult to see why Arsenal signed him from Dortmund. A physically imposing and powerful centre-back, which is something that Arsenal have missed out on in the last few years. He's probably going to add more at Arsenal than Johnny Evans will at Leicester, as the Gunners look to get back into the top four. Left back is probably the place where we have the least amount of options. However, even if there were some, it will be hard to top the deal that Everton did for Lucas Digne. Signing a Barcelona player for around 20 million euros is always going to be a steal, and considering he's 25 years old, he's got the perfect mix of experience and potential. Moving into midfield, and we have the big money and the big names. From here on in, it's some absolute head turners, but as usual, this will probably be bound to ruffle a few feathers, so if you really need to get something off your chest and give your opinion, let me know in the comments section below. So first up we have Jorginho. Apology to fans of Wilshere and Torreira, but this spot goes to the new Chelsea man who's been brought in alongside new manager Maurizio Sarri. The choice between him and Fabinho was actually a pretty tough decision, but I've decided to go with Jorginho as Liverpool's other central midfield signing from this summer looks to be one of the players of the season. Yep, you guessed it, it's Naby Keïta. What a player, what a signing. Despite agreeing to join last summer, Keïta has joined up with his new teammates this summer and looks to have it all as an action-packed box-to-box midfielder and then some. And at just 23 years old, he could be a world beater in years to come. So alongside these two in midfield, I've gone for probably the most difficult decision in this team because it means leaving out a Manchester United player who was brought in for big money. Don't at me, Jose. But whilst Fred was a good move for Manchester United, I think Jean-Michel Seri could be doing more for Fulham in centre midfield. He's got 5 years experience playing in the European leagues, which, no disrespect to the Ukrainian league or to Shakhtar Donetsk, tops Fred's experience in the last 5 years. Elsewhere, João Moutinho is a pretty good steal for Wolves for such a cheap price, but don't be surprised if Jean-Michel Seri, along with Alfie Mawson, contributes to a strong Fulham season. So now we move on to the front three, where we finally see the end of a long-running transfer saga. Last year, Mahrez handed in 2 transfer requests at Leicester City, but came back into the team and still put in some decent performances, enough that Manchester City saw fit to pay £60 million for him. Felipe Anderson down at West Ham is also a really good signing, especially for a record fee from Lazio, but with a former Premier League title winner joining such a fantastic team as Man City, I had to put Mahrez in. So the other side of the front three could have seen Max Meyer go in there, as a free deal is always a good piece of business. It could have also seen Xherdan Shaqiri being put in. However, with Liverpool's front three the way it is, I doubt Shaqiri will get many minutes to show how good of a signing he actually is. So with this in mind, I've gone for West Ham's Andrei Yarmolenko. He joins the Hammers from Borussia Dortmund with plenty of Champions League experience and has been on the international scene with Ukraine for the last 9 years. So finally, with the other 10 spots filled, we come to the last position in this team, where the options are rather underwhelming. It's pretty much a straight shootout between Fulham new boys Andre Schürrle and Alexander Mitrovic. However, the former had a pretty poor time at Chelsea last time he was in the Premier League, and with Mitrovic's amazing contribution to Fulham last season during their promotion campaign, I've gone with the Serbian up top. But lastly, before we finish, I'd like to give a quick shout out to 2 young players who I really think you should be keeping an eye on this season. First up is Adama Traore, who's just signed for Wolves from Middlesbrough. Blessed with lightning pace, incredible power and fantastic dribbling skills, don't be surprised if he gets voted into the team of the season at the end of the year. And secondly, Leicester have snapped up former Norwich midfielder James Maddison. He was a key part of their team last season with incredible footwork, magnificent passing and more than an eye for the spectacular goal. So again, don't be surprised if his star rises over the next 10 months. But with that said, that is my transfer window 11. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below whether you disagree, whether you agree, or who else you would have had in instead. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.